These look nice. Hey folks, welcome back to my channel and for another project video. Thanks for joining me. So today I'm going to make a bowl. Not just any bowl, a kind of a weird, kind of funked up looking bowl. Something different anyway. I've got hold of these. I went into the shop the other day and I found a load of these golden flakes. Look at them. They look beautiful. And I was wondering whether or not these would look really nice cast inside some resin. So I'm not too sure how this is going to turn out, but I kind of imagine that they would come out quite well, really. It's getting close to Christmas. These golden flakes are out. I presume they brought them out for Christmas. Maybe they didn't. I thought this would look quite nice inside casted inside a bowl. Now, the kind of idea that I've got is we've got this kind of bowl blank, this kind of size. Quite a chunky piece of sapele, this one. What I was going to do is have the kind of like an inlay of resin and golden flakes in the middle, maybe also in the top as well. Not sure how that will look, but I'm hoping it will look quite nice. What we need to do is, first of all, this could take a little while to get going. Obviously not a long time for you watching, but for me making. So this is our main blank, and I picked this up in the shop as well, and I thought this was perfect. Lock and lock. Does that say lock and lock? Yeah. Lock and lock. This is just a plastic pot. Don't need the lid, so we can get rid of that. Don't need the bit of paper that comes with it. Just need the bowl. All we want to try and do here is create the gold leaf blank in here. So we've got one of these, then we're going to want a smaller one, which I think I've got somewhere. I need to have a look to try to make another smaller one for the top of the bowl. We'll have this at the bottom, then we'll have our gold leaf resin kind of blank in the middle, another piece of wood, and then another gold kind of resin bit, if you know what I mean. So rather than carry on waffling on, let's get on and make this blank. Now I've mixed this up really well, and you've got to really make sure you mix it really well, otherwise it's just not going to work. So I always mix it for a good couple of minutes, you know, and just got to make sure that the A and the B that I've mixed in there is completely mixed. What I could do now is put a blank in here to save wasting all of the flakes and everything for the middle, because we're not going to need the middle. However, I am going to continue to do this because I'm going to cut the middle out when we've got it on the lathe and take it out and use it on another project another day. So I'm not too fussed about that. So what I'm going to do now is just going to get this stuff and scatter it in. Okay, so there it is now. That's ready to go into the pressure pot. We obviously want this really clear. We don't want any bubbles in it at all. It looks fairly clear already, but there is bubbles in it, but it will come out when I stick it in the pressure pot. I'll switch this around so we've got this in the middle, so I can cut this out a bit later. We can either use this on this project or maybe another one, not too sure yet. So yeah, looking good so far. Let's hope it comes out right in the morning. Okay, so while we wait for that to set in the pressure pot overnight, we can get this little blank on the lathe and we can finish off the base of how this is going to look first of all. And then once the base is done, we're then ready to glue our resin blank on top of that. So there we go, that's what I've done so far. Looks really nice, this wood, doesn't it? This sapele is just amazing. Look at the light and it catches it. It's beautiful, so lovely. Now as you can see inside here, I've sort of fancied this up a little bit rather than it just being a mortise, so that I can swing it over obviously to put it in the chuck, which obviously I do need to do that, but I sort of, you know, tightened this up a little bit so it's got a little bit of a pattern on it. So you've got a little bit of gouge taken out of here. This sort of slants down into another gouge and then makes way for my emblem in the middle. So it just makes it look a little bit different rather than just being, you know, a flat, you know, just a gouged out hole just so that you can put it in the back of the chuck. So try and fancy that up a bit. So I always try and fancy that up a little bit if I can, just to make it look a little bit different. So there's what we have so far. So I've finished the kind of base of the bowl. Not too sure yet what we're going to do. We might well still take this up here yet. I'm not too sure. We're just going to wait now for the gold bits to for the gold resin blank to cure, and then we can get this glued to this side, and then glue another blank on top of that as well. And then hopefully another gold blank on top of that as well. So that's it for now. So what I used then was a couple of coats of the cellulose sanding sealer from Chestnut, then moved on to the Yorkshire Grit, which is a really fantastic product. Always put that on there, if you can see that. And then I used the micro crystalline wax from Chestnut. Now it's not the final finish. I do like to use a final finish, and although that's come up really well, I want a really beautiful shine on that. But I'm not going to do that just yet, because we'll do that once we've finished the whole bowl. What I end up doing is putting some of the old trusted Sheila wax on there, or Sheila wax,
just to give it that extra shine.
Not quite how we expected. So as you can see, it's not come out quite as we've expected because all the flakes have moved into the centre. Now that'll be okay for the top part of the bowl, but not the edges, because it's this edge here that we need to have all the flakes in. So I'm going to take this off to cut out a circle in the middle, and we'll use that, but we're going to have to do this again and try to think of a way to keep the flakes around the edges. I think I've got an idea. So okay, so here's our gold flakes, which looks pretty cool, and you can kind of get an idea of how that's going to kind of look inside there. But obviously it hasn't quite worked out because they've all kind of huddled and gathered around this area and haven't gone on the outside, and that's where we really wanted it. So never mind, but what we can do, we can still use this. I'm going to need to take a piece, kind of just a thin piece around here, which I think will work quite well inside the bowl. So I only need that little strip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use another one of these face plates that I've got, and I'm going to screw this into the middle because I don't have to. I'm not worried about the inside here. All I'm worried about is the edge rim. So I'm going to screw that in there, and then we're going to put this on the lathe and see if we can cut out a piece from this. So we've got our ring now, which I think is going to do quite nicely inside this piece. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clean up this edge and clean up this edge, and then we're going to be able to glue this to our bowl blank. But obviously we do need to make up another one of these for the bottom, because that's now a bit too small, I think. Let's just check. So this sits in there now. So what we probably want is we want another one. So this ideally needs to sit kind of up here somewhere with the other one there, and then what we'd probably do is put another piece of wood in the middle and then have this. So we've got like 2 lines of this, but that will look really nice through there, I reckon. I hope. Right, okay, so we've sanded this back a bit, so that's our ring to glue onto another piece of the sapele, which we've got here. So that's what we're going to do, is going to glue that onto there. But we also need to obviously make another one of these rings, don't we? So, but what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to open the bottom of this up. So I've got this back on the chuck. I'm going to open the bottom of this up a little bit. So I'm going to put some of this gold flakes in the base here as well. I just think that that just might add a little bit of extra touch to it. So
not sure how this bowl is going to turn out, or even if it's going to be a bowl, but I think the gold flakes will look quite nice, but still don't really know what I'm doing at the moment.
Okay, so we've got this ring now, and this is going to be the base ring. Hopefully that's going to be alright. It's a little bit wonky, but that doesn't really matter at the moment because we can sort that out once we get it all glued up and on the lathe. So we've got this one, got the smaller one as well. The idea again is this one kind of goes on the base. The base I haven't got at the moment because that's still being set with the ring that I put in it. Another piece of wood, then we'll have this in it, then another piece of wood, and then what I've got here, do you remember this piece? This is the little chunk, a little circle that we took out in the middle. So I'm thinking whether or not we can kind of utilise this somehow. Nevertheless, rather than waste this, what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and cut a slithering off of here and make a circle out of it, because with this bowl...
May not even turn out to be a bowl yet.
May end up being some kind of vase. Or maybe a bowl with a lid.
I have no idea.
But you should always keep your options open. I took the slithering off, there was no gold leaves there. So what I thought I'd do is take out the mini circle, and I got that. And again, no gold leaf. That scuppered that plan. So what I'm going to do now is, I've got another plan, I've got another idea. So basically what I wanted was something like this, but with gold leaf in it. But so what I'm going to do is glue this onto here, leave that to set overnight, and then bring this back on the lathe, put this on there, then that will give form as a base to work with, and then we can do what we want with this little bit. So let's do that. So it's now got to wait for that to set now, and then we can get it on the lathe and finally try to make something out of it. And again, still no idea what it's going to be.
I guess we'll find out later.
as you can see, I've started to try to shape this into sort of a kind of a large bowl but pot. So it's a combo. These are going to come through quite nice, I reckon. I think these will really shine through, and you're going to see the gold leaf in there really well. We've got our little piece just glued up in there now, so I'm going to leave that to set for a little bit, and then we're going to put another fancy kind of lid on here. Yeah, I'm not too sure what yet, but we will put some kind of not lid, sorry, like a finial. Yeah, there it is so far. Not too much left to do. It's quite a big piece.
With Yorkshire grit.
There we go, that's the lid finished. Look at that. That stuff is beautiful. I love it. Really nice. So we can tell really how the rest of this is going to come out. And that's really nice. Finish that with Yorkshire grit, then a bit of the microcrystalline wax, and then the trusted shallow wax shine. Right, let's get on and finish the rest of this. So we're getting there. It's coming up all right. These are looking quite cool. Quite like that. That sort of effect in there is quite nice. So what we've got to do now is just finish off the lid. Hey, look at that. So there it is so far, everyone. looking kind of shiny. Just finished it off with the shallow wax, so that looks quite nice. Inside looks kind of cool. It's got that sort of see-through resin in there with the gold leaf, which looks quite nice. Yeah, it's alright. And then we've got this bit at the bottom here, which is gold leaf. It's coming on, it's coming on. So not much to do now, just got to finish off the lid. Got to think of what type of finial we're going to put on, and then we're done. Okay, so we made this little finial. It's made out of ebony, and I think that will be a nice touch. On top of that, I'm going to add a little twist. And that's it. Wow, that took me ages, absolutely ages. There were so many things to do in that. It just took so long. I don't know, it's a bit different, isn't it? It's large. I don't normally do large pieces. It's a little bit different. It's kind of a bowl, but also a pot. There's the lid. Doesn't fit as tight as I'd like it. This is a little bit different. I kind of like that. That's just something different, I suppose. And you've got the bottom now as well, with the gold leaf in there as well, with my emblem in the middle. So yeah, it did take quite some time. I'm not too sure whether I should have put this in there or not. I think looking at it now, it probably would have been better with another piece of this sapele in the middle. But you know, you live and learn, you try things out, you like them or you don't like them. So I'm not too sure. I think it probably would have been better with a piece of ebony in there, or, as I say, the sapele in the middle. But nevertheless, never mind. It's done now. Can't take it apart. Well, I could, but no, I'm not doing that. So there's the top piece that we saved because I knew I was going to try and keep that somewhere. So that's in there, which has turned out alright, I suppose. So I hope the video wasn't too long for you, and I hope that you enjoyed watching that project. Again, try to be different, try to come up with something that is not always the same as the one before, or something that I've done before. I definitely haven't done that before. Ow, what is wrong with my hair? I think it needs cutting. Well, I hope you're still enjoying the videos and the content, and thanks very much for joining me on today's project. There's been quite a lot of new subscribers come over since the last video, so if you haven't heard, I'm putting on a Makers Meetup next May. That's called Makers Central. Yeah, I know a load of you have heard about it. There's still a load of you that haven't. So if you haven't done already, please head on over to the website, link is below, and grab yourself a ticket for the show. There's still early bird tickets up there, and we're going to keep those up there till the new year. I'm still rocking out the green Record Power smock, so thanks very much to Record Power for giving this to me. Cheers. Loving using my new Triton tools. They work really well in this project. Thanks. Just before we go, I had a couple of little bits of post. Sticker from Joe Pierce, Maker. Thanks, Joe. I'll get that on the sticker wall somewhere. And another one from Stuart FURNI. Is it FURNI? FURNIA. I don't know. Cheers, Stuart. I'll get that on the wall as well. You can find links to these guys' channels. I will stick them below for you so you can check them out. Well, that's all we've got time for today, guys. Thanks for joining me on the show, and I hope to see you again next time. Hope to see you again on Wednesday for my waffle on, or if not, maybe Friday for my project. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Also, sharing the video really does help. Thank you guys for all your support. Thanks to all my new subscribers, and guess what? Thanks to all my old ones. Take care.